While the jury is still up in the air about the change in OnePlus's identity ever since it integrated itself deeply with Oppo, the company is still going strong with all of its launches this year. The OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition is the company's latest attempt to create a collaboration with a very popular legend from the world of entertainment. Say what you want about these collaborations, I think that OnePlus makes some of the best limited edition smartphones. Now, while normies might still question the need for a special edition phone, I'm sure fans would have appreciated the OnePlus 5T Star Wars edition and of course the McLaren edition OnePlus 70 Pro, two of my favorite collaborations from OnePlus up until this one, that is the OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition. Now, if you're a fan of Pac-Man, I don't know how many of those exist in India, I'm sure that you will appreciate the collaboration that OnePlus has done with Pac-Man out here, where it does great fan service. In fact, if you ask me, I think that this is the best, special edition phone that OnePlus has launched till date, primarily because of the really cool hardware tweaks and software tweaks that OnePlus has done to the Pac-Man edition of OnePlus Nord 2. Well, my name is Rashad. Let's get this video started. But before we move on, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it, because we're trying to reach 100K really soon and we'll take all your support. Now, it starts with the box, where you will notice the legendary Bandai Namco's Pac-Man maze etched on the outer sheathing. Once you open the box, you get your standard OnePlus accessories apart from the phone, a 65-watt charger, a red color Type-C to Type-C charging cable, a few documents, and your Red Cable Club membership card. But wait for it, since this is a special edition phone, there is a secret compartment where the custom designed Pac-Man case is stored away. I do like the look of this case. It maintains the design language, including the cutesy font and graphics of our beloved Pac-Man. Now, the Nord 2 Pac-Man edition has a very subtle green shade on the rear, with the Pac-Man character trying to gobble up food, all placed in a nice 4x10 grid. There's also a OnePlus logo at the bottom left corner, obviously, but wait for it. The OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition can actually glow in the dark. Would? The color, material and finish CMF of the Nord 2 Pac-Man edition actually uses a glossy fluorescent design on the rear that glows in the dark to reveal a neon maze. Another tweak to the hardware design is a blue color alert slider. The rest of the design is similar to the previous Nord 2. I think the new CMF is actually very nicely done and captures the whimsical, comical nature of Pac-Man really well. Another thing you get additional when you buy the OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition is a DIY holder. Unfortunately, our review on it couldn't come in time, but I managed to get a picture of the same from a friend reviewer. So here's what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. It's like a DIY Lego set really. Also, there are associated Easter eggs with this holder as well. Now, if you plan to buy the OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition, you will have to redeem this DIY holder from your Red Cable Club membership, and OnePlus will ship it to you separately. By the way, there's not much to talk about the internal hardware or the performance of the internal hardware or the camera performance or the battery life, because it is all exactly the same as the original OnePlus Nord. Unlike what a certain very young leaker would have you believe, no, this phone doesn't come with Snapdragon 778G. It actually does have Dimensity 1200 SoC. Now, also, if you've come this far, do us a solid and hit that like button, and maybe even comment below about this Pac-Man edition phone and what you think about it, primarily because YouTube algorithm values likes, comments, and the engagement that you get with it, and pushes this video to more people looking for similar content. Now, coming to the software tweaks, and it starts when you boot the phone for the very first time. Pac-Man eats through a bunch of texts before you can set up the phone. Once you enter the phone, you are greeted with a Pac-Man theme that is actually pretty entrenched in many elements of the UI UX experience. There are 8 Pac-Man themed wallpapers, which is possibly the very first thing anyone would have expected. Now, some of the first party icons have been redesigned in an 8-bit pixel theme to stand out from the rest of the icons. I think it is a really neat touch. Obviously, the color theme adopted for the whole UI is blue and yellow, and there is a solid black outline running around the notifications shade too. Also, one very cute touch is when you change the page in the quick settings panel, a Pac-Man character moves to eat food to indicate the change in the page. It goes without saying the ringtone is also Pac-Man's signature tune. Apart from this, you have a special filter in the camera app called Pack Normally, which has a virtual Pac-Man and ghosts from the game roaming around the air in a pseudo AR-like situation. However, I would have liked it if this filter was also available in video mode since there are so many moving elements. There's also a special Pac-Man fingerprint animation, a special Pac-Man edition clock on the ambient display, and Pac-Man stickers in the inbuilt editor within the gallery app. Like I said, it is well thought out and I could just be scratching the surface here. But that's not it. Apart from these software tweaks, there are a few Easter eggs that are peppered across this system which you come across when you start using the phone on a regular basis. Now, one of the Easter eggs I unlocked by charging the phone for 256 minutes in total was an extra sticker, which gets added to the sticker collection in the photo editing tool. Similarly, another Easter egg gets unlocked when you play the bundled Pac-Man 256 game for 256 minutes in total. By the way, you can actually uninstall the game if you want to. That's a good thing about OnePlus, it doesn't fill your phone with a lot of bloatware. Also, I'm just scratching the surface here. These are very few Easter eggs and you might come across more and more as and when you use the phone. So finally, you get only one variant of the OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition, which is the 12GB 256GB variant of the phone, and it has a rupees 3000 markup over the original Nord 2. And I think that the extra price is totally worth it, primarily if you are a fan of the legendary game. Which begs the question, how many fans of Pac-Man do actually exist in India? While Bandai Namco has actually kept up with modern times and made modern versions of Pac-Man, including Pac-Man 256, which gets bundled with the phone, I don't think that it can drum up the same kind of enthusiasm or hype in our country. Also, let's not forget that this game was most popular in the 80s and 90s, and in 2021, I think OnePlus would have most benefited from a collaboration which would have probably been a game like PUBG. Anyway, there are a couple of other issues that I want to highlight as well. The OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition actually comes with OxygenOS 11.3, and I hope that when ColorOS 12 based on Android 12 drops on the OnePlus Nord 2, it doesn't take away from much of the fun around the Pac-Man theme that is there on the phone. Oh wait, did I say ColorOS 12? Sorry, I actually meant OxygenOS 12. Also, secondly, recently a spate of OnePlus Nord 2s have started going kaboom and people have started reporting it online, and that has raised a lot of concerns with potential buyers. So OnePlus will have to cross that hurdle when it is trying to sell this limited edition phone. Having said that, I still think that the OnePlus Nord 2 Pac-Man edition is one of the best collaborations out there, and you should definitely consider it if you like special edition phones, that is. Do you guys like the phone? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Esha from MySmartPrice signing off. Goodbye and Godspeed, my friends.